we're ready, aren't we? About time?
Yep.
I think so.
Okay.
Yep.
I'll call the finance meeting to order then. And let's have a review of the fiscal report for August 2021 and also the invoices. Do we have any questions from anyone concerning those? Reno's given us a nice little report on it, or a summary sheet I thought was good. So any questions, comments?
I can't remember. Are we still due some more tax money?
Yeah, we've only had one distribution, right, Reno?
Yeah, the first distribution we had last July.
Mhm.
So we'll get one more distribution and then we may get some crumbs at the end.
Right.
We've gotten 55% in, haven't we?
Yes.
Yes, so, okay. A nice amount, but, okay. Did anyone think anything looked out of line or? I don't hear any questions, so do I have a motion to approve these?
So moved.
Thank you, Mark. A second?
I'll second it.
Thank you, Cindy. Since we don't have to do anything except I here. Is that right?
Right.
And then in the meeting, we do it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All those in favor say aye.
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 All opposed, same sign. Okay. Thank you. I appreciate that. And then do we have any old business to discuss?
Invoices, Jane.
Oh, I was going to do them all together.
Oh.
I really was. I thought we just took care of that. Okay, let's look at invoices. Any questions on invoices?
And this is just out of curiosity. Who is Whitesmith Marketing Group?
That is the group that we are working with for, we have a number of things that we're going to be working with them on, but they're also doing some press releases for us and social media drops.
You know them, Cindy, Terry White, Lisa Smith from the college years ago.
Yeah, they were DAC forever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Lisa's got a new last name, which I keep forgetting.
Yeah, I know.
Let's just say that.
Yeah.
All right.
She's kind of like me. She'll always be Lisa Smith. I'm sorry.
She will. But we called them in to ask them to give us a little bit have a hand with trying some new ideas and some new things to get the word out there on increasing our membership cards. And my goodness, that's been going very well.
Yep.
Baby Yoda is very hot. Wilbur and I just got our cards. They're really cool. So they were just giving us a hand, not anything major, not a huge investment, just a little bit of help to get going.
Any other questions here as we look through this?
And this is another just dumb question, and I'm not. There were a couple of things that Jennifer's getting paid back for.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a credit card that you use, or is that used for something else?
We have a library credit card, but if for what you're probably seeing on here is I was running out and buying bags for the kits for the card registrations. So I just used my own debit card for that, and that's what I was getting reimbursed for.
I mean, wasn't questioning what I just didn't know if the credit card is used for something different than.
Typically, we use the credit card for online purchases.
Okay.
But I don't have my own personal copy of it. We keep it in Reno's office.
Okay.
Again, I like the breakdown of the invoices, the ones where they have like 20 different purchases and it breaks it down. I like that, Reno.
Thank you, Bill. It's easy to interpret the transactions because it's being detailed. There are detailed amount on it, aside from the total. On the distribution column, there's a breakdown of those expenses, those amounts.
That's been helpful.
It
Yeah.
really has.
Thank you.
I think we all noticed it and appreciated that. Takes us a while till we figure out what we like and how it looks good for us, but thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Jane.
Any other questions?
I'll make a motion to approve those.
Thank you, Cindy. A
Second,
second. Thank you, Mark. All in favor of that motion of approving these, please signify by saying aye.
aye.
Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. So then we can go on to old business. Any old business to bring up?
No,
Okay, the new business, we have an action item that we need to talk about and hopefully pass on to the board. The resealing of the parking lots and the transfer of that money. And we had a document with that, I think, that explains we need to hopefully approve the transfer of $8,975. And this is from the building fund to the general fund to cover that cost. So
Oh.
I was
Is
going to
that-
ask comments.
Is that something different than the, like on the invoices and that there was something for repairing the back parking lot?
this is all the same thing. So we had the money budgeted in our from the tax levy, and Reno paid it out of our general fund, but it was allocated into buildings, so we just need to do a transfer.
It is a capital outlay.
Okay. A capital outlay.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's budgeted under capital outlay.
Yeah. And we've had to do this before, do some transfers like that. So
Yeah.
Yes.
Are we gonna be able to stripe that crossing area where pedestrians walk back and forth from the building to the parking
Yeah,
lot? Okay,
We
good.
did. Yep.
I thought so. I just,
Yep. We did that, and then we also did one across where curbside is.
good.
So there's that, just kind of that visual.
That's-
Hey,
They're driving
People
weird
here.
out there. Yeah. Yeah. I just want to double check. I thought so.
Hey.
okay.
Sorry, I have a visitor.
Victoria has joined us.
Okay.
So
Okay.
any other comments or questions? Do I hear a motion to approve this so that we can pass it on to the board for full vote?
So moved.
Thank you, Mark. A second?
I'll second it.
Okay, thank you, Cindy. So now, all those in favor of that motion of passing this on to the board signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. All opposed? Same sign. Thank you. And our next meeting is Tuesday, October the 19th. And there is a very, very strong possibility I will not be there. Telling everybody right now. So I might be able to do it on a phone, but I'd be driving along or riding along. So it might be not the smoothest meeting. So. Okay, I think the motion or the meeting, I'm sorry, meeting is adjourned then. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you. And we will kind of hang loose for a little while and hope the rest of the people join us. So thank you.
It's easier to make small talk in person than it is on Zoom.
It's awkward Zoom talk. Nobody
I know,
knows.
we haven't done this for a while. I was like, oh. I have a question before we start that meeting on our action items. I had crossed off, it's on action item section 5500, employee responsibilities. For some reason, I crossed off 5590, and I don't even show that I have something for 5590. So I don't know what that was.
Oh,
Oh, wait, no. Yeah. Because it,
yeah, there's
55
one we decided not to change. Was that the tuition? That was the
that was
tuition
the
reimbursement.
tuition one, and that was 5380 maybe.
Okay,
Where did I put that? Yeah,
55.90.
5590.
Okay, well, I didn't take it out of the header, but I did take it out from the rest of it. Let me see if
Yeah, it was 5380. That was the tuition thing that was going to stay the same. But this one, I mean, I don't even have anything in the, and I don't know if that's just something I missed at the meeting the other day.
No, it's probably a typo on my part because I'm not showing it back on the other forms either.
Yeah, I,
Mhm.
okay.
I have my original papers and I don't see it, I don't think.
Okay.
That's what. So is that something we have to correct before we approve it? Like at the meeting?
I suppose so. I'm not
Okay.
really sure because it's just mentioned in the header. It's not like we're taking it out of the action item because we're not talking about it.
Okay.
Hi, Mary.
Hi.
Hi, Mary.
Mary. I imagine since it's just in the header, you don't really have to do anything. Just mark it out and don't say it. So
We could just take it out of the header orally,
yeah.
revise the agenda.
Yeah, if that'll make you more comfortable, Cindy, we can amend the agenda and remove that. You okay with that? Okay.
I just don't want to not follow the rules.
Oh, absolutely. Whatever those rules are.
It's neat watching the cars go in back of you, Linda,
I know.
on Main Street.
Welcome to my house.
I don't think we've had
Yes.
that vantage point before, all the traffic out there.
It's amazing how much traffic there is. It really is. When we talk, you hear all these stories about crime and people leaving and moving away and there's nobody here and blah, blah, blah. It's like, try to get out of my driveway and see how it goes. You probably have that up there on winter, Mark. You have a lot of traffic up there.
More than what I thought before I moved here.
Sure.
Yeah, it's
Not as
amazing.
much as you have.
Same with Logan.
There's a lot of vehicles on the roads out there. And of course, this is state high. So it's been an adventure lately. There's been a lot of huge, ginormous equipment going by.
Mm.
They're going to wind farms or somewhere, but they're just, we had a convoy of about 4 of them blocking both lanes going south. It was, and 42 accompanying vehicles. It was quite an interesting thing to see. And I got right in the middle of it naturally. So.
Great.
Okay. I did talk to Jeremy. Jeremy, are you with us? Martha, is that you?
Yes.
Okay, good. I thought it was. And I think Jeremy was going to try to join us, but I don't know. He's really struggling with his schedule. So we'll have to take a look at that. Okay. Well, I think then we will, well, we're about a minute short, but we'll go ahead and call the meeting to order. Thank you all for being here. And thank you all so much for being willing to adjust. It was kind of frantic yesterday when Victoria turned the world.
Yes.
Is she
Yes.
okay? Is she all right?
Yeah, she's feeling better. She's not tip top yet, but she's on the road to recovery. I'm less concerned that she has picked up COVID somewhere now. But I'm still
Good.
waiting her test results.
But they tested her for a bunch of stuff. So
Yeah.
we'll keep our fingers crossed. At least she's feeling better. Colin
Thank
is
you.
not so great. So
Yeah. So
Jennifer
yeah.
can't win for losing.
And I'm coming off of my recovery of the second vaccine and feeling kind of lousy over the weekend. So it's been a fun 72 hours.
And it's pretty drippy out, so I was kind of.
Oh, it's a nasty, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Carol Volpert at Fairhope called about getting on this show, and we were laughing. She was asking me how I was, and I said, well, it's a little kind of a day of joint ache. And she says, oh, it is. She said, I can't move. It made me feel better that I'm not the only one that feels like this. Ooh, nasty. Hey, Melissa.
Hello.
How are you?
She's in
Good.
her car.
How was the anniversary?
It was okay. We had a minor glitch with a little bit of a soccer injury with the boy, but otherwise it was okay.
Well, those things happen.
Yeah.
All right, we'll call this session of the Danville Public Library Trustees Board meeting to order. And the first thing I would request is someone to make a motion to amend the agenda. Under the Policy Committee, there's been some question about number 5590, which is listed here, but is really not up for debate, discussion, or change. So I would welcome a motion to amend the agenda to remove that item. Anyone willing to make, oh, thank you. A second? Thank you.
Everybody's so eager.
That's what I like, eager. Eager's good. Any questions or concerns? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Thank you all. Okay, 5590 is removed. Secretary's report, Ms. Reek.
Okay, hopefully you've had a chance to look at the minutes. There are 3 pages that I'm scrolling through right now of minutes. And did anyone have any questions or comments about the minutes from the last meeting? So hearing none, can I have a motion to approve the minutes from last month's meeting?
I'll make that motion.
Okay, and a second?
I'll second.
And Jane seconded. Thank you. All in favor, say aye.
I
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
All right, we now have treasurer's report and approval of invoices and investments. Mrs.
Okay.
Andrews.
Thank you. Let's take a look at the treasurer's report first. We've had the one payment from the tax levy at 55%. So hopefully another one will come later in the year and maybe some extra. Do we have any questions concerning this report? Hearing none, do I have a motion to approve the treasurer's report?
I'll make a motion to approve. It's Melissa.
Thank you, Melissa. Do I have a second?
I second.
Thank you, Martha. So now is this a roll call? Or since,
Yes.
yes, okay, Reno, I need a roll call, please.
Thank you, Jane. Jane,
Yes,
Mark,
Yes.
Cindy,
Yes.
Martha,
Yes.
Mary,
Yes,
and Melissa.
Yes.
Thank you.
thank you, Reno, I appreciate that. Now let's take a look at the invoices. This would be for August. And you will notice that Reno has done a great job of showing the distribution for one invoice. We have the full amount of the invoice and then how it's distributed with different POs or different line items, I'd say. So we appreciate that. Any
you.
questions here? We like to spend money, I think. So do we have a motion to approve this, please?
I'll move to approve.
Thank you, Mary. A second.
Second.
Thank you, Mark. Then another roll call, Reno.
Yes. Jane,
Yes, please.
Mark,
Yes.
Cindy,
Yes.
Martha,
Yes.
Mary,
Yes.
and Melissa.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Motion carries. And that's our report today, I think.
Okay, Director Hess, Director and Personnel Reports.
Okay, we have special guest appearance by Victoria.
Yes, Victoria's going to give part of the report.
Yes. So as you see, I discussed KaiCon in a little bit more detail. We've discussed that overall it was a success and a good showing for a first kind of big event, planning it the way we did. We think if we do it again, we'll do it just one day instead of two. And that is a possibility since Cobra Kai was renewed for another season. And
I saw
Victoria's
that.
very excited about that. So I've had a lot of meetings with DDI and planning with them. The event we just did in conjunction with them, our craft night, sounds like it was a great success both for us and for the downtown businesses. So that's exciting. Johnson and I have been looking at bookmobiles, and we had discussed that maybe instead of buying a used school bus and renovating it, it would be better to just look into an actual bookmobile prefabricated, even though the cost is quite a bit higher, but perhaps better service in the long run. So we're working on grants for that. And thank you, Bill, again, for the information on the CADL grant. I have other information that I will share under new business. And as far as personnel goes, Britton did resign, as I reported last month, and we have hired Amanda. I am not going to pronounce that correctly, Escobedo, I believe, for a part-time LA in public services. So she's going to float between outreach and curbside, working at the circ desk and filling in hours at Teen Zone. And then we hired temporarily Jenna Bryant to work on the RFID project with us. Jessica, do you have anything to add?
In August, I started back with Leadership Tomorrow's group through Familiar Advantage, and I'll be doing it's every other Friday, so I'll be there again this coming Friday. And it's just such a wonderful program. And let's see, mostly I'm excited about things that are coming up, like Halloween. And this Saturday we have author Matt Stover, who's written some Star Wars books. He's doing a presentation with us on Zoom. And in October, we have another author presentation, Chris Wajalian, who's, I forgot the name of his book, but anyway, he's doing a presentation October 27. So exciting times.
Yes. And the VAV controllers have been being replaced throughout the building. So I have a fancy digital thermostat in my office now that tells me when it's 69 degrees and when it's 72 degrees as the day wears on. So that's good. That part of that overall project has been going on in the building.
And we've had pretty good success with for anybody that didn't make it all the way through the reports. One thing I just want to make sure everybody notices is that we are seeing some good response on the Baby Yoda cards, on the memberships renewals and new cards. So that's been real encouraging to see those numbers start to climb. So
yes,
good work by everybody.
Last update I had was we had 225 registrations or renewals, and we're only halfway through the month at that point, and that's double what we have on an average month. So we're probably not going to hit the 5,000 that I wanted to hit, but it's definitely a stronger number for sure. So, and people that come in are very excited about the cards.
Are you going to be a part of the trunk or treat on October 16th?
Are we?
The library?
Yes, not only are we going to be a part of it, and we're also then an additional location for any other business that wants to join in, but Quinn from Outreach, Julie from Reference, and I are going to be the Sanderson sisters from Hocus Pocus to hand out the treats, and Jessica is going to be Binks, the black cat.
Oh, cool.
Awesome.
So everybody had a lot of fun with Trunk or Treat last year. They were thrilled to be asked to be part of it again, and we're all very excited about that and everything else we have coming up in October and November between Halloween and Potterfest.
Yeah, one of the things I want to make sure we're all aware of is that after the last year of kind of up and down and challenges with staff, the things that have been going on lately, the response from the staff has been wonderful. They're really enjoying the different activities that are going on. They don't look at it as a pain. They have to do extra work. They're looking at it as fun, and they're jumping in and they're doing it. And it's been great for team building. So I'm really excited for how they feel about where they fit in the library and the things that the library is doing. I think it's really exciting. I'm very happy.
Yes, thank you.
Anything else?
That's it for now.
Okie dokie. All right, Finance Committee, Mrs. Andrews, any comments?
Well, we have an action item that we need to take a look at, and it deals with the transfer of money from the building fund to the general fund for the resealing of the parking lot, paving the parking lot, I believe. And I'm trying to find it here in all of the things that were sent out, but I think that pretty much summarizes it. So does anyone have any questions or comments about that? It is a budgeted item and it is a capital outlay. So it is for $8,975. And not hearing any comments, do I have a motion to approve this transfer of funds?
I'll make a motion.
And that was
Melissa.
Okay, thank you, Melissa.
I'll
And
second.
thank you, Mary. And Reno, I expect we need a roll call for this.
Yes, thank you, Jane. Jane,
Yes?
Mark,
Yes.
Cindy,
Yes.
Martha,
Yes.
Mary,
Yes.
and Melissa.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Reno. The motion carries. So that'll be taken care of. And our next meeting is Tuesday, October 19th at 3:45.
Thank you very much. Policy Committee, Cindy.
We have several action items. It's updating the policy, not the policy, the policy manual. So we are going to be looking at, the first one we are going to look at is section 5100 employment, and it'll be revisions of 5130 and 5190, which involve working hours and employment of relatives. A lot of these changes that we're looking at are just updates from HR resource that we have requested look over our policy manual. So I don't know if anyone's had time to look them over and to see if you have any questions about those. If there are no questions, would anyone like to make a motion to approve?
I'll make that motion.
I think she has something she
Victoria
wants
makes
to
a motion.
say.
Yes.
Although I think she beat me to it.
I don't even know who that was.
I know, I lost track, sorry.
I think I did.
Motion by Victoria.
So that may have been Jane that made the motion then?
I think so.
And do we have a second?
Second.
And that was Mark. Okay. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Anyone opposed? Motion carries. And our next one would be section 50. Oh. The next one is section 5300, leave of absences. That would be regarding 5320 family leave, 5340 vacation leave, 5350 personal leave, and 5370 jury duty, 5375 voting leave, and the other one, which is 5380, we are keeping as is for now, which is involving education leave, tuition reimbursement. So I don't know if anyone's had time to look that over. Anyone has any questions on any of those? And if not, would anyone like to make a motion to approve the changes to sections 5300 leaves of absences?
I'll move to approve.
Mary,
Melissa.
second by Melissa. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Anyone opposed? Motion carries. The next one we have is section 5400, employee benefit. Just a few changes to the paid holidays section. We're adding Juneteenth, changing 8 hours to 7.5 hours because she said that was the typical work day. And revisions from HR Resource. So did anyone have any questions on any of those? And if not, would anyone like to make a motion to approve that?
I'll make that motion, Jane.
Jane, second, anyone?
I'll second.
Mary, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. And the next one we have is section 5500. So it's affecting 5510, 5515, 5534, 5538, and removing 5570, which involved phone calls, personal phone calls. So did everyone have a chance to look that over? And does anyone have any questions?
I have a comment. It was quite interesting. We talked about athleisure, that new word for some of us.
Yes.
We saw it in print like the next day in like the newspaper or someplace. So it was
Wow.
really funny. I was glad we talked about that.
Okay, are there any other questions or comments? If not, would anyone like to make a motion to approve the 5500 sections?
I'll second.
Mark and Melissa? All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Anyone opposed? Motion carries. The next section is 5800 regarding termination of employment. That would be section 58. Oh, here's another one. Oh, wait. Oh, it's sections 5840, 5850, and 5855. Does anyone have any questions or comments regarding that section? Anyone like to make a motion to approve that?
I'll make the motion.
Jane,
I'll second.
Mary,
Mary.
all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Then we're almost done. We have, this will be the, just a revision of the policy manual that we had for the pandemic response. So it's going to involve how we conduct meetings, how we would, the capacity limits in the library and in the rooms, the meeting rooms. Staff schedules. I don't know if everyone's had a chance to look over that. And if anyone has any questions on.
This is going to be a temporary thing, right?
Yes.
Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully.
As we have to have it be. As long as we're in the middle of this, so however long that will be. Time will tell.
The middle never ends.
Yeah. So if there are, does anyone have questions? Did I ask that already? And if not, does anyone want to make a motion to revise the temporary policy manual regarding the COVID-19 pandemic?
I'll move.
Melissa,
Second.
Mark, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion. And motion carries. And then the final one is regarding fees and fines. Melissa, I don't know if you are, not Melissa, Jennifer, I don't know if you want to talk anything about, tell everybody about what we had discussed. I mean, it's pretty basically getting rid of really, really old fines and that don't really apply anymore.
Right. Yeah, we're trying to remove these barriers to service for people. So the biggest change is how we will accept replacements for replacement costs. In the current policy, we do not accept a physical item to replace one that has been lost or damaged. Going forward, we would like to waive on these kinds of accounts, all late fees and processing charges, which can double or even triple the amount of their fines. And then except if someone has lost or damaged an item, we will accept a replacement item. They can pay in full, they can do a payment plan, or they can replace it with a reasonable equivalent. So if the book they lost is no longer out of print, but it was a children's board book, we will accept another children's board book, etc. So we're hoping that this will bring some people back and just kind of loosen some of the restrictions on people who have lost or damaged items. And this is only, these stipulations only go for our items. If someone has lost or damaged an item from another library, we have to follow theirs. If they charge late fees, we have to still charge them late fees. And that is included in this policy as well.
Okay, so with that, does anyone have any questions? And would anyone like to make a motion to approve the changes to fines and fees?
So
I'll move to
Hi, Mark.
about 5 of us approved.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. That concludes the items that we have for this meeting, and our next meeting of the policy meeting will be November 9th at 4:15 on the second floor conference room.
Thank you. Melissa, do you have anything for building committee?
I do not. Am I the chairman?
Yeah, did you know that? See what happened with that? I said, hey, do you possibly have any time? And you're like, well, I really don't, but.
Shouldn't have said but.
So, so your name went on the head for now. We realize you're overloaded, and we will try to get that changed. Still working on the mayor for our newer person, and of course Jeremy has not been very available with his schedule, so we may have to revisit that. That's not working out well. So, but yeah, for now your name's on there.
I do not have anything.
Okay.
Unless Jennifer, I do. I don't, right?
No, you don't.
Well,
Probably next month.
maybe in October, we'll see.
Got it.
Thank you, Melissa.
You're welcome.
All right, old business. Jennifer, patron assistance in reference.
So I had brought up that we were having some challenges with the Social Security office locally, and with patrons coming in needing help registering their kids for school. And I just wanted to follow up on that. My initial call discussion with the gentleman, the main contact in Springfield, while he was very nice and pleasant to talk to, it did not really result in constructive results there. So I discussed it with Linda and wrote letters to the senators, including our Senator Durbin and Duckworth. And I have received a letter back that they have followed up and trying to resolve the internal issues there between their telephone system, which is not very reliable, and the working from home situation, which does not really help people who need one-on-one assistance. So at least that is moving in a better direction. As far as school registration, Dr. Jacoby and I had a discussion about that, and we, unbeknownst to us, parents have almost a million options getting assistance and registering their kids online, whether it's going to the school during set times. She said they will come to the parents' home and assist them. So next year, we're going to work together so we can have flyers to pass out to these parents, or some better communication between us and the district, so that my staff aren't scratching their heads not knowing how to help these people, and they can get help from people who have been trained and correctly informed on how to register online. Moving on to the Bookmobile, as I mentioned, we had those discussions that a prefabricated Bookmobile is probably a better option. The quotes that Johnson has run in the $300,000 range. So this is not a inexpensive venture. We are applying for grants. We applied for the Vermilion County Healthcare Foundation grant. Peter's working on the CADL grant for us. There might be another opportunity that I don't want to discuss right now because it's very iffy, but it is a process that we are looking at and working towards, and I think it'll be better overall than what our original plan was. Plus, we have the granted money already from our foundation as well, and that's also something we can look at when the next round of grant allocation comes up in the winter.
And so, I will have to be Debbie Downer here, in the sense that Cindy Pack just delivered our grant packets for this quarter and at the Healthcare Foundation. And because it's our first quarter, and because it's been kind of quiet, all of a sudden everybody wants money. So our requests that we're receiving for this quarter outmatch our funding for the year. Ooh. So yeah, it's not good. And when I encouraged you to apply, we had been very low in our requests. So we'll see what happens. It's going to be up to you folks and how you present that grant, and I can't vote on it. But it's worth trying, and we can tweak it down the road if we have to, and delay it if you have to. So we've got some options, and you've got some other opportunities. So I think this is going to happen. We just have to be a little bit more patient. So
right. And in the meantime, we are advertising that we can do school visits and daycare visits in our current van. We can load up some books on carts that way.
Good.
So we're trying to build up some momentum for the service itself, even if we don't have the actual vehicle and the actual full range of services that we want to do.
Good idea.
Thank you.
One other thing under old business, it's not on there, but I'm going to bring it up. As you know, our landscaping has been a hot topic of conversation and has presented a lot of challenges and a lot of frustrations, not the least of which was from Sybil Mervis, our past president, and she has been very unhappy with how we looked and how we were responding. So I was very happy the other day after the work that's gone into this, what Peter and the foundation have done to help us with. It's taken time, but by golly, we got a lovely note from her the other day, praising how everything looks, telling us what a great joy it is to drive by the library and see it looking so well. So that was good news for everybody. And I shared that with the foundation because, again, we couldn't have done it without them. So we really appreciate that help. And I said to her, we're not done. We know we're not done. It's an ongoing project, but at least we've made some good moves and gotten a little progress in that. So thanks to all for everyone's help on that.
Praise from Sybil is high praise.
Don't, you're kidding me, man. I nearly jumped up and down, and I can't jump up and down anymore, but I almost did. No, it was genuinely appreciated, and it certainly made everybody feel good because, again, a lot of effort went into that, and it was really frustrating. And it was one of those things that happened. Yeah, so good news on that. New business, request for quotes, microfilm and digitation.
So I had hoped that I would have these documents ready to send out by the board meeting, but I'm waiting for feedback from other partners on these. And then of course, being home didn't help. So hopefully next month, but I just wanted to mention what these 3 things are about. We've mentioned before how much we would like to digitize the microfilm, both for patron use and personnel use, and without going into an area that would be need for a closed session. Let me just say that we have a little situation. It will be okay, but it has kind of brought to the forefront how important this is as far as time that staff spend on genealogy requests, that plus an influx of requests. So Taylor and Josh and I have been working on putting together requests for quotes. We've got several different vendors now that are interested in reading this package and what we need. And as far as funding it goes, as long as they can meet our requests that we do not have to send our entire collection out, which is going to be in the neighborhood of $150,000 at one go, if they will work with us that we can send out portions of it, we can allocate some of our per capita funding from that is usually set aside for adult collection development towards this instead. Taylor and I have had the discussion. She feels like this is the right thing to do with that funding. She still has plenty of money in the budget towards collection development. And frankly, if she does not overload tech services with requests right now, that is for the best. And that is really as much as I would like to say about that, again, without needing to go into a closed session.
Yeah, because there's some other things there that are relevant, but the main thing is once we begin this process, it's going to be wonderful for the library and for the people that use those materials. It's going to make life so much easier. So yes, we've just got to do it in the right way. So thank you. Any questions? Okay. Intergovernmental agreement with 118.
So the other portion of my discussion with Dr. I feel like I'm going to constantly pronounce her name wrong. Dr. Jacoby, and then I did it. Is the putting together an intergovernmental agreement that would give library cards to every District 118 student, regardless of if they're actually in the city sorry, Victoria's freaking out about something. And regardless if they're actually in the city limits or not. So Johnson and I are working with her to just kind of finalize some ideas. She presented it to their cabinet meeting for an initial, hey, the library wants to do this. What do you think? And it was very warmly received. So I feel like as long as we all agree to what we're proposing here, and we're just kind of trying to finalize a dollar amount that the district would reimburse us for lost and damaged items. And we would probably stick with the current practice of 1 item per student plus digital content. So that's what we're thinking. And we're in the process of getting that finalized. Of course, we'll have the city lawyer look at it as well. And hopefully that can proceed. And I believe that you all will have to look at it and vote on it as well before we present it to the school board. So hopefully I can have that on next month's agenda.
Okay.
That's great.
Yeah, thank you.
Any
Okay.
questions? All right, then, request bid for the west side doors.
So this is
Keep the rain out.
This is our Live and Learn construction grant funding to replace the west side doors. We are just over the threshold where we are going to have to send out a request for bid. So I'm working on that, and hopefully I can get that done within the next month and out there. And that's something that if we can't get it done this fall, we can jump on it in the spring.
Okay. Questions?
This is to replace the curbside pickup doors.
Yes. So we'll have sliding doors like we have in the front of the building.
Oh, because it's going to be
And-
another entrance.
And
Yes.
change it so those drop boxes are not in the direct line of all the westward wind and storm and rain. Jennifer had sent a video of the last big storm we had on a morning that Peter was on the show, and I showed it to him. He couldn't even believe it. It's when you see it, it's just kind of amazing to see how much water comes in. It was a terrible idea. I don't care who you are. It was an awful idea. We never should have done it. And so now we're going to hopefully get that fixed. And then have the new doors too. So anything else for the good of the cause?
That was it for me.
Is Victoria done?
Victoria's never done.
I know. All right. If nothing else, then I would accept a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
Thank you. Second?
I'll second.
Thank you. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. And thank you all again very much for adjusting your schedules and letting us get this done as we needed to do for Victoria.
Yes.
Everyone
problem.
take care.
Okay. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye.
Thank you.
Aye.
Oh.